Alright guys, welcome to your 28th video, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about bacon, one of the most important concepts in physics, one of the most delicious concepts in physics too. And maybe I'll talk about potential energy a little bit, but mostly this tutorial is about bacon. So let's start out and talk about potential energy. We already know from the last video that potential energy is equal to the weight of an object times the height, or pretty much the distance off the ground, as we saw in the case with the apple. However, this is indeed physics, so whenever we're talking about physics, we don't really use weight a lot because, for reasons that I explained whenever we're talking about gravity, fluctuations in weight make measuring things really difficult, so that's why scientists prefer to use mass. However, there's the problem that we need to figure out potential energy of objects often, so in order to do that we need the weight of an object. So what if someone gave us the mass and the distance or height and they wanted us to figure out the potential energy? Well, then what we need to do is we need to take the mass and use that to figure out the weight of an object. So since this is such a common problem in physics, I'm going to explain to you guys how to do that. So say that we have a piece of bacon. Actually, this B right here kind of looks like a piece of bacon the way it's wavy and greasy and delicious. But anyways, we have a piece of bacon, and this piece of bacon is, we'll just say it has a mass of 4 kilograms. So it's probably, a good sized piece of bacon, and it's also 8 meters off the ground. We'll say that it's sitting on a pole, and we're trying to knock it down so we can, of course, get it in our mouths. So what is the potential energy of a piece of bacon that has a mass of 4 kilograms and is 8 meters off the ground? Well, of course, this is mass, not weight, and we need to convert mass to weight. So how do we do that? Well, first, let's figure out how to calculate the weight of an object using only its mass. Now, the weight of an object is equal to the mass of the object times the force of gravity. And that is actually why you weigh less on the moon, because since gravity is the factor, on Earth it's greater than on the moon. So gravity on Earth, like I said, has a force of 9.8 meters per second squared. Let me just throw those in the parentheses. So weight equals mass times gravity, aka mass times 9.8 meters per second squared. So the weight of this bacon on Earth, 4, because that's how much mass it has, 4 kilograms, and a gravity, which is always 9.8 meters per second squared on Earth. Therefore, when we add these two together, the weight of a 4 kilogram piece of bacon is 39.2 newtons. Now, remember, 1 newton equals 1 kilogram times meter per second squared. So if you guys were still confused in the last tutorial how you can have newtons, and I said that newtons and weight were interchangeable, well, this is why, because weight is actually a force. How strong is gravity pulling you towards the center of the Earth? So that is why force, newtons, and weight you can both use newtons for. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about in this tutorial. So now we have the weight of the bacon, 39.2. We can now figure out the potential energy. When this bacon falls down from that pole, how much energy is it going to produce? So the potential energy when it's sitting on top of the pole is of course equal to weight times height. So the potential energy equals the weight, which is 39.2, and I'm just going to leave out my units for right now. And for, what was the height? 8 meters right there. So I'll put 8. So if we multiply these two numbers, 39.2 times 8, we figure out that when a piece of bacon is sitting up on a pole, 8 meters high, and the bacon has a mass of 4 kilograms, then it has a potential energy of 313.6 joules. So there you go. That is how much energy is stored in that bacon, and whenever you bite into it, it's going to be delicious. That's the key of this tutorial, that bacon is delicious, and all of this potential energy, weight stuff, that's really not important. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go grab some bacon now, so I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.